Welcome to Wedding BFF. My name is Kate Schmidt and I am your host. As a self-taught wedding planner and owner and chief planner for Celebrate by Kait, I am passionate about creating wedding days that are memorable and tangibly feel like the couple that is being celebrated. On this podcast, you will hear from myself and other guests tips on planning, mindfully creating a day that not only looks but feels good, and how to budget your way to the wedding day of your dreams. Now let's get to discussing your day, your way. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Wedding BFF. I am Kate Schmidt, your host. Today I wanted to talk about something that I feel is not talked about a lot, and it is the nature of how to get more alone time on your wedding day. Wedding days are super fleeting. You know, they say life goes by in a blink of an eye. Wedding days are certainly no exception to that. And if there's anything I've learned, it's the couple doesn't really get enough time together. A day about the couple turns into obviously this huge celebration, but they don't actually get much one-on-one time. So I had a couple this past wedding season who did a really good job of being intentional with spending time together on their wedding day. Sorry if you can hear that, I'm in Chicago and, you know, city never sleeps. But anyways, I had a couple that was very, very intentional about that and smart about it. And I've heard from my clients over the years too, you know, particularly if you're more introverted. Wedding days are kind of a big deal. They might cause a little bit of anxiety, or if you just don't like being in the spotlight, that's another thing too. In that regard, it can make people nervous. So I have some ideas I wanted to share with you. Some I've seen happen, some I just came up with on my own on how to be with your partner and have some alone time on your wedding day. All right, first one, I will probably say this forever, is a sweetheart table. For those not familiar with a sweetheart table, that is just a table for you two. Usually it's smaller than like an 8-foot or 6-foot table. Sometimes it's really cute in like a half circle shape or something like that. But it's a table for just you two. And there's a couple different ways to implement that. And I'll tell you even from what I'm doing for my personal wedding, what my strategy is with that. So we will have a sweetheart table because over the years I've really seen the importance of that alone time. But a few feet back, we will then have our head table, and we're doing all rectangular tables, so just, you know, 3 back straight. So, you know, our favorite people are within arm's length, but we still can have conversations quietly as a couple. All right, so that one's pretty obvious. Moving on, portraits. So I know we all love the party bus and, you know, wedding party gets on, wedding party gets off, take a bunch of pictures, particularly in Milwaukee, very much on the lakefront or at a local park. This happens. But one thing to always consider is, are all these photos I'm capturing on my wedding day, like, you're going to probably come back with probably at least 1,000 from your photographer, depending. What are the ones you're going to frame? What are the ones that are going to live on? Potentially, maybe you have kids later on. What are the ones that are actually going to stick, that are going to stay, be like the anniversary picture in your home? A lot of times that's not with your wedding party. Candidly, the day is about you two, and you have your wonderful hype squad support team that is your wedding party. But it's important to also think further into, like, how many do we really need as a whole wedding party? It's less than you think. I mean, quite honestly, I think maybe not even having them get off the party bus, and maybe you do some shots at the venue of everyone. I definitely think you should still have wedding party photos, but I think another way to really be in the moment and enjoy it is to have couple portraits together and to focus more on those from a photography side of things than like, let's get everyone and their mother in a photo. That's one way. Not to mention it can be very, you know, intimate and special to get those photos, and, you know, it's you and essentially just your photographer or videographer or whoever, but it kind of feels like you guys are like standing still in time, which is really cool. All right, a grand reveal of your space, so of your venue. I call it a grand reveal to be dramatic about it more than anything, but it is really exciting because it's the first time that you as a couple set eyes on that reception space. If it's a 2-location wedding, it's harder if it's a 1-location wedding, but we'll get to that. So I classify grand reveal as like you seeing the space before anyone else does, and as a couple taking that in, drinking that in, enjoying it, like seeing, you know, where all of the sweat equity of the planning, financially where you've put everything, seeing it come to life. And this is especially possible when you have a full service florist who is going to do
a set and help with a flip or whatever that they may be helping with. But a grand reveal is a really easy way for you to just to spend time together, not to mention some of those photos are pretty priceless of you seeing it happen for the first time in real life, not just a floral proposal or a venue diagram. Okay, a private first dance or a private last dance is another one. One of my clients did that this year too, and it just allowed them some time to eat some apps and enjoy company, have a cup of coffee, maybe have a cocktail, whatever it is, without the flurry and rush of everything, because a cocktail hour is super chaotic. It's exciting, it's good energy, but like quite honestly, everyone's social battery is different. So maybe if you spend some time together, either towards the beginning of the cocktail hour or at the very end, which I will get to for a dance, just you two, no one else needs to be in the room, relax and enjoy. All right. Another one, your first look. This is one I haven't seen implemented yet, or the suggestion I'm about to give you. I haven't seen it implemented yet, but it's something I'm thinking about a little bit more and more here. What if your first look doesn't have to be super quick? Like, okay, gotta go to the chapel and get married. What if we structure it where you're able to just spend some time together? Maybe pop a bottle of champagne or have a latte together. Relax with no one else around. This could be budgeted as you want to with time. I usually, like in a standard timeline when we're going boom, 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 which is very normal, I budget about 15 minutes for this, because between the photos, between, you guys getting to speak to each other, potentially reading your private letters to each other, those are a couple different things that need to happen during that time, and the timing needs to be right. We need parties in the right space. We need, your partner ready to see you, or however you guys choose to do that, in place, facing the right direction. So that's another place. If you want to extend that, like, hey, let's just have, I would be so on board as a day of coordinator and wedding planner to have your favorite Starbucks drink ready to go for you, or have a favorite cocktail or just a bottle of wine or something to relax and kind of be peacefully, and respectfully, everyone leave us alone. And I'm considering implementing something like that into my wedding day as well. All right. One of the other things, after bars, after parties are very, very popular right now. And I think that they have their place, and it really depends on your vibe as a couple. But one thing that I would suggest, and this goes into kind of the exit or a private last dance, those things, you could do your sparkle exit, or you could get a, wonderful vintage car, or you could make it a thing, make it a part of the evening, a scheduled part of the evening where you leave before your guests do. And I say that because then you don't have the obligation to go to an after bar if you don't want to. And to be honest with you, I've thought about it so many times in terms of how would I want this for my own wedding day? Of course, as I'm watching events unfold and, watching my couple just have the time of their lives. An after bar seems like a good idea in theory, but if you are a lady getting your makeup done, you have been up since 6, 7. Depends on your overall timeline for the day. But the other part that a lot of people don't think about is the emotional time and investment of a wedding day, in terms of that energy, that it's just you're on an adrenaline high all day. You're exhausted. Is your normal day running around being the center of attention from 6 a.m. to midnight? I mean, if you're a celebrity, probably, maybe, I don't know, but that's a damn long day. And, of course I'm working those days and doing weddings, and so it doesn't feel as long because it's work, but you're going to be really tired. And, this is a day that you really want to remember. So those are a few tips as far as alone time on your wedding day. Again, something I feel like it's not talked about enough. It's kind of an ugly truth. Maybe that's why people aren't talking about it that much, but it is important to find that time, because again, it all comes back to the two people that are being celebrated, and that's you and your partner. So hopefully this was helpful. A couple days to infuse more alone time, more privacy, some lovely, just intimate moments between you and your new husband, wife, whatever. So that's all I've got. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks for listening. I'm thrilled that you joined us today. Feel free to check out CBK on Instagram at Celebrate by Kait, spelled CELEBRAIT, by, and my name Kait, Kait, as well as various other online channels where we share our sparkle with the world. Thanks again for joining your wedding BFF. Cheers to your day, your way.